Okay, how's this?
Let's see. Say something.
Can you hear me now? Is this better?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, I have full service, so it should be fine.
Perfect. Yeah, I think it's good. I'm going to go ahead and start to broadcast. I can't see it yet.
Good.
Ramin will have to answer.
How's mine?
Great.
Can you all do a quick check of Facebook and LinkedIn? Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be there in a moment. Takes a couple of minutes to pop up. I think it's good, at least on LinkedIn. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, depending on where in the world you are. This is Dave Rosendahl, and I've got the MindFire, a few of the MindFire team here with me. Yeah, it looks like we're good on LinkedIn. Yeah, you see it on LinkedIn? I'm just going to drop a hello. Mm-hmm. And can you verify over there in Facebook, Mac?
Yeah.
And let me see who we have here in Zoom. We have Angelica. We have Eva. Good morning or good afternoon. If you folks can hear us in LinkedIn or Facebook or Zoom, let us know that you can hear us and see us. Want to make sure that we're connected. You haven't missed anything yet. We're just getting everything hooked up, and we're going to let a few minutes pass so that we can get everybody in. I see Jose over there in LinkedIn is saying hello. Suzanne is over there in LinkedIn. Hey, Suzanne. And Sean is here over in LinkedIn. So folks, today we're talking about a couple of exciting roles that we have here at MindFire that we're looking for. And in a couple of minutes, we'll start, but the flow of the event is going to be kind of loose. I'm going to talk a little bit about who we are here at MindFire and give you some insight into what we do and the exciting opportunities that we have. And then I'm going to bring, I think you can see them on the screen. We have Ramin Zamani, who leads our agency, and Mackenzie, who oversees sales and demand generation. They're going to be talking about what they're looking for in the positions that they need. Robert says, big echo. Does anybody else hear an echo? Santosh says, hello. Carl says, can hear and see 5x5. Randy says, hello. Hey, Randy, how are you? Jeffrey Duke says, sounds great. Good. I see LinkedIn coming in. Mac, are we good on Facebook?
Yeah, I was good on Facebook. Like I saw.
Awesome. So folks over there on Facebook, if anybody is able to hear us or see us, go drop a hello. TJ says, hey. And in Zoom, I see a few people here as well. Awesome. Is it Eva or Eva? Angelica says she can hear us. All good. Fantastic. Nick says, sounds fine. Good. Cool. Well, welcome, everybody. Huh?
Fine. Hopefully it sounds better than fine.
Sounds awesome. Robert says, I left and came back and all good. Okay.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, I think everything's good, folks. Sound-wise, I do have what we call a comfort monitor over here on my left where I can hear and see things. So from that perspective, test. Yep, all sounds good. So I think we're good. I think Mackenzie and Ramin will wait maybe another minute or two for the folks that are joining us through Facebook and LinkedIn to get settled in. So hi, Nick. I can see you over there. Carl says, same here. I left, came back, and all good. Yeah, sometimes LinkedIn has a couple of issues in live. Was it last week, Mackenzie, or the week before we went live in LinkedIn, and it had a pretty significant issue? Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And it's typically delayed since every time I do the chat, whenever I'm chatting in Zoom as well as LinkedIn, it's always like 5 minutes apart.
Yeah. So if anybody's hearing us and you do have any issues, I guess we could also have folks join us in Zoom. Matt, can you grab that registration link maybe and just throw it in Facebook and LinkedIn in case somebody is having significant issues? You can jump out of LinkedIn or Facebook and jump into Zoom directly. We have people in Zoom too.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Well, I think I'll go ahead and get started as Mackenzie's picking that up. So if you just jumped into LinkedIn, good morning or good afternoon. This is Dave Rosendahl here. It's good to see everybody. Nick says we're sounding fine to him over there in the UK. So we have a lot of you joining us from different locations in Facebook, Zoom, and LinkedIn. And what we're doing today is talking about a few of the opportunities that we have here at MindFire that we want to make you aware of. And we're looking for some incredible people to join the team of incredible people that are already here at MindFire. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about who we are, talking about MindFire. And then you should be able to see on the screen Ramin Zamani. I think he might be below me in terms of where he is in Zoom here. And then Mackenzie, who's I think on my left. And I'm going to open it up for them to talk a few minutes about the roles that they're specifically hiring for. And then we'll answer questions as they come in. So if you're in Zoom, if you're in Facebook, or you're in LinkedIn, make sure to leave us questions. Over there in the comments, I see Ryan says all good on LinkedIn. Ryan, good morning. I'm glad to see you here. So what I'll do, Mackenzie, anything before I jump in? Mackenzie or Ramin, all good on your side?
No.
Okay, cool. So what I want to do for a few moments here is just talk a little bit about who we are here at MindFire in case you're not familiar. And then we'll go right into the 3 roles that we're looking for. So MindFire is a 19 or 20-year-old company with a focus on software, specifically marketing technology. And for many years, we've been helping organizations reach and engage their market, their audience, whether that be prospective customers or existing customers. And the way we view the world is we believe that it's increasingly difficult for modern sales and marketing teams to be able to reach their customers and their prospects because consumers, whether that's B2B or B2C, have really evolved in where they hang out, where their attention lies, how they engage with different media. And so from a marketing and a sales perspective, it's easy enough to send a message maybe from me to Mackenzie on a one-on-one fashion if I know that she likes to communicate in SMS as an example. But if I want to do that at scale, if I'm a business that wants to do that at scale, that's difficult. And so that's where we come in. That's what our software helps companies do. We help organizations in a variety of different industries reach and engage their target audience in the channel that's best for that particular audience or that particular person. And so what we call the category that we're in is Opti-channel. That's short for optimal channel. And so that kind of gives you an idea of what the software is all about. Everything that we do is based on either helping companies use our software to run campaigns and engage their audience in that way. Ramin's team is one that helps organizations when they lack resources to be able to do these things on their own, or they need our expert assistance for implementation of campaigns. So if a company licenses our technology, they don't necessarily have to use it themselves. They sometimes retain us, specifically Ramin and his team, to be able to run those campaigns end to end for them. Mackenzie and her part of the organization are responsible for bringing in new customers, so customer acquisition and demand generation. And so kind of at the top of the funnel there, we're always talking about how we can help companies reach and engage their audience, reverse engineer where the market's attention is right now to help companies be able to engage their audience in that location and then use technology to help them do that at scale. So that's a little bit about who we are as an organization. Mackenzie or Ramin, did you want to add anything before I go into kind of what are some of the exciting things that happen here at MindFire that are attractive to perhaps the folks here on the line? Anything you want to add about who we are or what we do? Yeah, Mac.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I think it's really important, anyone who's watching this video, whether you're applying to work at MindFire or any other job, you know, we all spend so much time working. And so it's important to us at MindFire, and should be important to you, that you find a good fit based on what you're passionate about, what you like to do. And so you will notice that when you talk to me or Dave or Ramin or really anyone at our organization, we're really passionate about making sure that you are in the role that allows you to succeed the most, that you're happiest with. So we're definitely a people-first organization, always trying to make sure that our people are happy. My favorite thing about MindFire, which I'll just say in case it resonates with you, is that you can really be anything you want at MindFire. So there's no limit on the growth that you can experience or the roles that you can go in. It's really a place that is synonymous with opportunity and possibility. And so it's a really great organization if you feel like, hey, I love what I do, I want to do it more, and I want the opportunity to work at a place that's growing, where people are put first, and where I have the opportunity to really soar, be surrounded by other great professionals who are super nice and kind and family oriented, but also who like to work hard and do a great job, and all celebrate our wins together. So I just kind of like to talk about what my favorite part is so that people can resonate or see, you know, if it aligns with what they're looking for.
Ramin, did you want to add anything?
Sure. Yeah, I just want to add a quick comment that in addition to what Dave and Mackenzie mentioned, another great thing about working at MindFire, I've been with the company since 2009, so it's over a decade now, and most of the people here also have a long history. Like I think the average person here stays for 6-7 years, so it's more of a close family friendship that you can really count on your teammates to be a part of your lives as part. I mean, they always are supporting you no matter what. There is a tremendous opportunity, specifically in the agency, for learning new things, because we are exposed at any time in any point in time to a wide array of projects and clients and industries. So if you are looking, for example, to learn a specific things about digital marketing or how to go to market in a certain industry, or sharpen your skills in any aspects of marketing, this is a very good place to be, because you will be working with small businesses, medium-sized businesses, and large enterprises at a capacity with a lot of autonomy and direct contact with the client. So and we invest in our people. I mean, we take time to transfer the knowledge, to teach them what we know, and to also let them grow. And this has shown in many of our team members here at the agency as well.
I see Akash, I think I pronounced your name correctly, over there in LinkedIn, saying it's night over where he happens to be. So folks, I know that it's late for some of you. I appreciate you being here late. I also know it's early for some of you. So thank you for being here. Hopefully we are able to articulate for you what the opportunity here is at MindFire. And if any of you are a fit for what we're looking for, what Ramin and Mackenzie and the MindFire team are looking for, we'll give you the next steps here in just a moment in terms of how you can follow up and apply for those positions. So a couple of other things I wanted to share. I've got some notes here. I asked Mackenzie before we went on the air, and Mackenzie, if you want to expand on any of these, just to kind of carry on a little bit about what you were sharing, Mackenzie, around what makes MindFire a exciting place to work. One of the things that I do hear quite a bit from our staff is that, you know, I think you mentioned that there's kind of no ceiling in terms of where people can go. So for Angelica, for Ava, hopefully I didn't pronounce your name incorrectly there, Nick, everybody else that I'm seeing here in LinkedIn, Facebook, and Zoom, folks, if you're looking for a place where you can prove yourself and do good work for our clients and do good work for MindFire, we don't limit folks artificially in any way. The only limit is what you as an individual are able to do or contribute to the organization. So that's something that I know resonates with a lot of the staff here at MindFire. Mackenzie, you mentioned another thing, that everybody here at MindFire is good, I think is how you described it, right? They're all, you know, we're a relatively small team, but everybody is good at what they do. And so MindFire is a good place for people who are able to dedicate themselves to a particular area of focus. Ramin's got some very specific things that he's looking for. Mackenzie's got some very specific things that she's looking for. And because we're small, it's hard to hide if you're not someone who's able to do your job well. And so the positive to that is that if you do your job well, and if you are a contributor and you make a difference, you will be noticed. You're not going to be 1 in 10,000 where your individual contribution every day is just so small that it's not noticed. You will make a difference. Mackenzie, did you want to add something there?
Yeah, I was going to say that I kind of did this motion of, you know, being on an assembly line.
Yeah.
There's many wonderful organizations that you can choose to work with. And I just for you spending your time here with us, I feel like it's a privilege. And so first of all, thank you for doing that and for your potential interest, because I feel like sometimes organizations don't tell you as a prospective employee how it's not, you know, it's not just great for us, you know, it's not great as an organization, it's great that you're even applying. And so there's many great organizations. Some of them, like Dave said, there's tens of thousands of people, right? And that comes with the benefits and cons, depending on if that's what's good for you. You know, in those organizations, you're one person on an assembly line, and some people, that's where they thrive, right? MindFire, I would say, is the exact opposite. You really, as Dave mentioned, make a difference for yourself, for your team, and for our clients every single day. What you do matters. And it's really important that you, if you're applying for a job at MindFire, you are the type of person who wants to really impact and be a pivotal person at the organization, because every single person at MindFire makes a difference and is crucial to everything that we do on a daily basis. And so for me, I love that, because I love that what I do on a daily basis matters. So just think about that. You know, are you looking to join an organization where there's tons of people and you're sort of one person in this huge team? Or are you looking to join an organization where you're one that's very, very important and crucial to the overall function of the organization on a day-to-day basis and the impact of your clients?
I see Nick over on LinkedIn says, I believe we are connected, David. I've used MindFire in the past. So Nick, I take it you were potentially a client of MindFire, I guess. Thank you for that. We always appreciate hearing that. I see Michael Landis over there in LinkedIn. Kate says, I think, Kate, you're tagging somebody. Thank you for tagging, it looks like Ted over there. So we appreciate that. And I think with that, then what I'll do now is I'll transition into the 3 roles that we're looking for. And I think first up is going to be Mackenzie. So there's 3 roles that we're talking about today. The first is a SaaS sales professional. So selling MindFire software, services, and training. Those are the 3 things that we primarily sell. Then we're going to talk about the digital marketing and community manager role that we're looking for. And then third, the direct response copywriter role, which Ramin's going to talk to us more about. So with that, Mac, I think I'll turn it over to you. Let's talk about the first role. So I guess just to get a sense for who's here and what they're interested in, how many of you are interested in the sales role? If you could drop an X in the chat, whether you're in Facebook, Zoom, or LinkedIn, just give us a sense for who's interested in what. How many are interested in the sales role? I see Gladys, Kate, Michael. Nick is saying, I used to work for a commercial print company. I use MindFire extensively. Awesome. Thank you, Nick. Really appreciate that. Okay, so keep that feedback coming in, folks. That's helpful. Mac, I'm going to turn it over to you. By the way, I call Mackenzie Mac. So if you're wondering who I'm talking to, I'm not talking to my Macintosh. I'm talking to Mackenzie. So Mackenzie, go ahead. Take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, I'm super excited that you are all here. It's really a great time because, you know, there's a lot of growth opportunity. And so specifically, I'm looking for a highly driven, passionate, and experienced SaaS sales professional. I'll say that again, highly driven, experienced, and what was the last one? Sales
Awesome.
SaaS professional. Awesome. And so, yeah, so we are a very fast growing organization and we are looking to expand our customer acquisition team. I think this is a particularly exciting role. As we mentioned, you really have the ability to grow in any way that you want. And our market overall, if you look at MindFire as an organization, there's a lot of demand for our technology, services, and training. And what that means is that as a SaaS sales professional, you have a huge opportunity if you join our organization to be able to really bring on a number of great clients, to work closely with a team and grow and learn, but also to be able to financially grow. You know, as Dave said, there is no ceiling. And so that's one of the things that I think is really exciting about this opportunity. If you are someone who is highly driven, who crushes quotas, who wants to be able to grow with no ceiling, this is definitely a great opportunity that you should apply for. You'll be working directly reporting to me, and you'll be working closely with our demand generation team as well. So just a quick 30-second overview of how our funnel works so you can understand where in the funnel you are. We have a really incredible marketing and branding and outbound awareness engine, I'll call it. If you're here at the live or you're seeing this, you've probably seen Dave and myself and Ramin and all of us in your face on LinkedIn, right? And so we put a really, really big emphasis on making sure that we clearly communicate with the outside world how we help organizations. Now, one of the results of that is that because we do that so stringently, we have a lot of interest among organizations who want to work with us, which is a really great externality of marketing, right? If you're great on the marketing side, that means you're out there in front of a lot of people and you are able to communicate how you can help them. Now, because of that, we do have a lot of inbound interest, but we also have a lot of branding that helps the sales process. So marketing does its job to get this awareness and engagement. We also have outbound sales activities so that we're attracting new clients within our sweet spot of organizations that we can help. Now, from there, we have a demand gen and marketing response team who takes all that inquiry, who takes all that engagement and says, hey, let's get on a convert call with you to see if you are a fit and to see if we're really a great organization to help you grow. Now, from the demand generation team, that's where you, the sales professional, comes in. And what your role is really taking a customer and prospect-centric approach to understanding who are these people, what is their business, how do they grow, and how can, if or not, our technology and services and training supplement and enable them to grow in the way that they want to. So a lot of what you're doing is building relationships, is having discovery conversations, is making sure that you are spending your time on organizations who really we can help and benefit. Because at the end of the day, you'll learn that we are a very client success oriented company. And so our goal is not to bring in $1 million at the top. Our goal is to bring in a great number of organizations who we can truly help and who we can expand within their company and who we can help them grow. So it's more of a quality game versus a quantity game of trying to really make sure that we're working with and helping organizations where we're a good fit to help their marketing, help their sales, help them communicate, help them stay in front of their prospects and customers. And so with that, something really important, you are going to be given leads and opportunities, but we really want to make sure that we are, choose someone and someone who chooses us for the sales role who has an experienced track record of going outbound, creating opportunities, hunting and gathering, right? Because I think it's really important, even if you are given opportunities, to stay in the pulse of the market. And staying in the pulse of the market means going out there and eliciting new conversations and finding new organizations. So, you will be pivotal in getting inbound response, but you will also be held responsible for going out there, hunting and gathering and filling and maintaining your own pipeline. And then after that, I'm just going to say, after you sign up those organizations, we pass them over to our fantastic customer success team who brings them on board and who helps them expand. So your role specifically is on the customer acquisition side.
So Mackenzie, how about we pause for just one second? Let's see if anybody has any questions about what you just said. I saw Krista said, sounds like a great sales vision. So giving you kudos there. And thank you, Krista, for that. So let's see, over on Facebook or on LinkedIn or in Zoom, Angelica, Eva, and the rest of you who I see here, do you have any questions for Mackenzie on this role? And I saw a number of you are interested in the sales role. So if you have any questions about what Mackenzie just said or questions around how your experience might be relevant, please take a moment. I see Nirmal saying, I'm interested for the sales profile. Okay, Nirmal, thank you. Let us know what questions you have. Any questions about MindFire's product or service, or about the sales process that we use here at MindFire, or the vision behind the role that we're hiring for?
And just one of the things that, while we do that, just one of the things I want to note is that you will notice whatever role you join, whether it's with Dave or with Ramin or me or anyone else, we are all a very roll up your sleeves and hands-on organization. So I will not, Ramin will not, Dave will not be asking you to do things that we don't do ourselves. And what's great about that is that I'm not going to say, hey, go get this dollar amount when I haven't sold that dollar amount myself, right? And so when hopefully you get excited about this opportunity, you come into the sales process, I want you to be prepared to tell me about what experience do you bring? Have you met and exceeded your quota for 6 to 8 quarters in a row? I want to ask tactically from, hey, here's a lead, or here's how I found this lead. How did you take that lead all the way through closed won? Not just, I worked with them. I want to know specifically, because I'm excited in the details to know how you do that and how you want to do that. So this is definitely, like I said, a role for someone who's experienced and who can in detail outline what they've been able to do, what the specific quotas they were able to bring in, the experience they had with the prospects, and what you actually were able to do. So definitely bring a hands-on tactical vision, because that's really important to us, because goals and strategies are great, but we want to know tactically, how are we going to work together to get this done? So please, as you are inquiring, just know that I'm going to want to ask those questions because I love to know the details of, what you've done.
So Mac, 2 questions that have come in for you so far. I'll list them both and then you can answer. So first one, I think from Sean, is SaaS experience required? And then another question, and I've had this one a few times, can we do a one-on-one conversation to talk more about this? So maybe you can talk about what kind of next step process you want for this role. And then is SaaS experience required?
Yeah, so I will talk about the next step. So really, we're going to approach this just like you and I and anyone in our sales team would a prospective sales opportunity, right? So at this point, if you're interested, you're a great lead and we're a great lead for you, right? And now what we're going to do after this is schedule a one-on-one conversation where I can get to know you as an individual and you can get to know me. Obviously, you're going to be working closely with me and the team. So we want to make sure there's a good fit there. We're going to talk about what have you done? What are you hoping to do? What are your dreams and aspirations? What kind of organization are you looking for? And I will explain everything about MindFire as well. If we at that time determine, hey, it sounds like there's a great fit. This person is a seasoned sales professional. They're experienced. MindFire sounds like a great place where you would thrive and where it looks like there'd be a great opportunity. Then we'll take it to the next stage, right? And so we will work through sequentially each stage, just like you will in a sales process, to make sure that we're the best fit for you and that you're the best fit for us. Obviously, no one has a crystal ball, but we want to do the best job that we can, making sure that we're aligned, and so that when you get into the role, we have the most positive chance of success for you. So that's how we'll approach this, just like a sales opportunity. And then in terms of, is SaaS experience required? I definitely want to have someone who has SaaS experience. However, it is not 100% deal breaker if you have complementary experience or if you have experience in an organization that's similar. So it's not a hard no. So please inquire if you feel like you still have something specific that would positively impact your job here at MindFire. But sales experience, experiencing in bringing new business and crushing quota at least 6 to 8 quarters is required. We just want to make sure.
One thing, can I clarify for everyone, Mac, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, but there is a difference, folks, in the 2 roles I'm about to describe. One where maybe you have worked with existing clients to close business that's coming to you,
right,
versus what Mackenzie is looking for is someone to go out and close new business. So you have to be able to close at the end of that process. And there is a distinction there. We've learned, I'm sure many of you know that, but does that align with what you're looking for, Mackenzie? First of all, make sure I'm right in that assessment.
Yes, you are. That's exactly right. The closing portion is a critical and key component because, again, our role in customer acquisition is to bring in new opportunities. And so your role and contribution will be actually to bring those organizations in. So all the way from discovery conversation to closed one, it's imperative that you have experience doing that. And like Dave said, there is a difference from supporting current clients by selling them things, right? That's a great role, but that's not what I'm looking for. What we're looking for, we're really looking for an experienced outbound sales professional who has the ability to take a lead, really do a great discovery with them to make sure that it's a great fit and bring them all the way into the family, as we call it, to a closed one opportunity.
Mac, I'm gonna do 2 more real quick. Is that okay? Did I cut you off?
Yeah. Oh no, I was just gonna say throughout this, I mean, obviously I work closely with Dave and Ramin. So if either of you do have questions or things that you think people should know, I mean, you could probably describe the role and the team just as much as me, just with how closely we work. So please give your insight if you have any.
No problem. I'm going to try to move us along just so we don't run out of time with the other 2 roles. But I now say 3 things that I want to hit on real quick. So Mackenzie, for you, can you tell us more about the tech stack that you provide to enable prospecting? For example, I've used LinkedIn Sales Navigator, Tableau, HubSpot, LinkedIn Helper, et cetera, in the past.
Yeah. So first of all, we are all about enabling you to do your job more efficiently. So anything that we have this rule, if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, let's find a tool to automate it. I think that's a really important thing. We want you to be spending your time on the things that are your highest value output, which is selling, talking to people, right? So first of all, key component of our organization is Salesforce. If it wasn't in Salesforce, it didn't happen. So we're very, very tightly aligned with Salesforce because we believe that you have to be able to have transparency into the opportunity. So number one, Salesforce. Number two, we are a marketing technology and communication platform. So we provide you with our own technology, which is great because you'll get to use it as well as be able to sell it. So that allows you to automate social activity, email marketing, use landing pages, all this kind of stuff. We also have SalesLoft, which is a sales development software, and we have, we integrate with different things. But yeah, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, absolutely all of that. Trying to think of what other tech stack things. But whatever in general, yeah.
Oh, finish your thought.
I was just going to say, in general, we are all about spending your time in the most high value output. So like I said, if there are technologies that we notice can help automate those things, I mean, we're a technology company, we're all about it.
A couple of folks, and I'll probably just use their first names. Well, maybe I won't use names at all, have messaged me already and say that, and this is interesting because I think it might help others understand the opportunity. One says, I worked with Pearl and VDP technologies back in the day with commercial printers. Is that a fit? And then somebody else says, I've worked for many years in direct mail and software sales, and I know that direct mail still works to drive sales engagement. I'm seeking a new opportunity. Here's my resume, et cetera. So Mac, two things that they touched on there that I thought maybe you might want to expand on because it applies to the other two roles as well. The tie-in with direct mail, the tie-in with print, the tie-in with commercial printers and such. Can you just high level articulate what that is?
Yep. So as Dave mentioned when he started this conversation, we are all about omni-channel, which is choosing the appropriate channel. And so many cases for our clients, we still see that direct mail works and it works great. We are also all about direct response, right? So our technology enables you to connect with people who are interested and to drive leads and revenue, right? And so one of the best ways to drive inbound response from a direct mail piece is through a personalized URL or a microsite or a landing page, however you want to call it. So our technology enables you to connect direct mail with all the capabilities of the web, such as a landing page. So that's sort of how it fits in. So because of that tie-in in our software, we do have a ton of organizations who either as the B2B marketer or B2C marketer uses print in their workflow as one of the channels, right? Email's great, it's one channel. Direct mail's great, it's one channel. So we do have a lot of organizations, there you go, awesome, that do tie in print. So we work with B2B and B2C marketers, we work with agencies, and we work with printers because again, all those people typically are running marketing campaigns that leverage different channels. Now, you don't have to run direct mail. We have many organizations who do not use direct mail at all. So yeah.
Cool. So Mackenzie, let's wrap this segment up real quick and come back. And if you have questions, please continue to throw those in. One more time, I see Mariah's asking, who should I reach out to follow up on this? So a few of you have already sent me your CVs and your resumes and other messages. Thank you for doing that. I will forward them on to Mackenzie. So Mackenzie, if you don't mind, just drop a comment into, I guess into Zoom and Facebook, and then maybe your email over in Zoom. How do you want to do it so people can follow up with you?
Yeah, so I will drop my email into the Zoom comments, and then you can everyone here can see my name, I'm assuming, in the Zoom. So it's Mackenzie Leinders, Mackenzi, last name Leinders, Leinders. Find me on LinkedIn, find me wherever you can. Part of the role is hunting and gathering. So if you are interested in joining this organization, there's my name, get to me. And thank you for your interest.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to those who've already messaged me. I see some thumbs up coming in. Robert, I see your question over there. For the sake of time, let me circle back to that one. Let us move on to the second here, and I'll tee that one up, and then Mackenzie, I'm assuming you probably want to talk a little bit about that one as well. So we're going to transition now to the second role that we're looking for, which for the sake of the description that we published when we went live here. We're calling it the digital marketing and communication community manager role, excuse me. And so this is a new role within MindFire, and it's one that I'm really excited about. Mackenzie mentioned a moment ago how we do quite a bit of engagement on social, kind of at the top of the funnel, to bring folks into the demand generation team, through to the customer acquisition team that she described a moment ago. And a lot of that is using a playbook, for lack of a better word, that makes heavy use of LinkedIn and other social channels to engage our community. Our community is our tribe. It's our customer base and prospect base. It's people who have a problem that sometimes don't even realize they have a problem, that we want to start to engage and bring into our sphere of influence. And so there's some very specific things that we do to make that happen. And over the past 14, 15 months or so, we've invested heavily on that brand building aspect of MindFire, and a big part of that has been my face out there on social. And because of all of that, we are inundated with a lot of inbound interest, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done to continue to maximize what we've been able to do over the past year and a half or so. And so this role, the digital marketing community manager role, is one where you will learn what it is that we've been doing to generate leads and grow sales through this community management and social engagement that I'm describing. And your job will then be to take that to the next level, to carry it out, and to be able to live that out in the way that we have kind of documented or articulated in this playbook of sorts, and then to scale it up. That's the job at a very high level. I have on the screen here, I'm going to bring it back up here on the screen. If you don't have this, Mackenzie, do you mind if you can help me? Or folks, it should be in the comment for this live as well. If you don't see it, maybe Mackenzie can find the link to this document. The next two roles, so this one and the one Ramin's going to describe, have a document that articulate some of the details of what we're looking for. So here's the one for the digital marketing and community manager role. I'm just going to step through it real quick. You can go back and read it on your own. The first thing I want to highlight is the cultural fit aspect of this role. This is important in all of the roles, but because in a way you are a brand ambassador in this role, meaning that the way you engage with people, the way you interact with people, the way you comment, the way you reply, the way you create copy is going to embody in many aspects the DNA of who MindFire is. The cultural fit, therefore, is really important. This might be the most important aspect of the role. And the way this is kind of lived out is that, we try to be as helpful, as optimistic, and as giving as possible at the top of our funnel. This is part of our playbook. I don't have time to go into all of it, but our belief is that we have to give value. We have to give it, and then give it some more. And that's a big part of what this role will be doing. And if that sounds fuzzy or amorphous, I can give you more descriptions of what that's like, or you can read this document. But that aspect of the role is very important. If you don't have that already, if that's not part of who you are, then it's going to seem really weird. The role is going to be difficult because you're going to think, why should I spend another minute or two and find a white paper or an ebook or a link for Johnny Smith 87 on Reddit when it doesn't do anything for me? Do you know what I'm saying? So this has got to be part of who you already are, or it's going to be very difficult for you to do the role. Second, because a lot of what we're doing in this role is new, you're going to be on the leading edge of social community management. You're going to need to learn a lot of these things on your own. There isn't necessarily an instruction book that says exactly how to do it. We're going to tell you what we've been doing, but you have to be comfortable with going out and learning some of these things on your own. Part of that is because you're going to be working with me, and I'll let Mackenzie, you can probably clarify for everyone what that means. But when you work with me, I just know this about myself, and it might be because I was homeschooled. I expect you to be able to figure things out on your own. That's just who I am. And so for us to be able to work well together, it would be great if that's something that you're also comfortable doing. Hey, we have the world's knowledge in this thing called Google now, right? If somebody comes to me and says, hey, I don't know how to do something, and I ask them, well, did you Google it? And they're like, no. Ugh, I don't think we're going to work well together. I'm just being honest. Mackenzie, do you want to add something to that? I see you smiling there.
No, just that I've had the pleasure, and I still do, but I grew up at MindFire many years ago working really, really closely with Dave. And a lot of what I learned was within 3 words from Dave, which is, I trust you. And what that means is that Dave trusts you to be able to try things, make mistakes, figure it out on your own, Google it, create a new process. But what that requires is you having the internal ability to say, I don't really know right now what to do, but I'm going to figure it out myself.
Yep.
So that's one of the big things about working with him is you have to have a can do, I will do, try myself mentality.
Yep. And if you make a mistake, it's not a big deal.
We exactly. All make mistakes. It's no big deal. He'd rather you try 10 times and figure it out along the way. And you will definitely get feedback and learnings from it. It's not that you're not going to learn from him. I learn every day so much from him. He's going to teach you a lot. But as he says, bring me something that's 80% baked and let's work on it the rest. Let's figure it out together. Let's discuss it, right? Versus, hey, let's try to go from step 1 to step 2 together, right?
I see Robert asking, is this role open to new college grads who have the academic background and some real life experience? Absolutely, Robert. In fact, it may be easier for that type of person to step into this role. It might be easier. Some folks, because what we're doing, the playbook and the way we do this is so different, it may be hard for others who have prior experience to come into this role with preconceived notions of what they should be doing. Possibly. So Robert, absolutely. If you know folks like that, please do not hesitate to have them reach out to us. Some of the skills or prior experience, I'm going to go through this quickly. Again, you can go and read it yourself. We would like to have somebody who has copywriting experience, some at least, or at least familiar with some of the basic tenets of copywriting. Again, if somebody doesn't have that, but they're able to teach themselves or have a thirst for learning that, that's sufficient. If you're interested in that, and not just because you want a job, but because this is something that is inside of you, you can learn it, and that's enough. Basic HTML, if you don't know any HTML right now, but you're not afraid to go learn, that's okay as well. But we don't want somebody who looks at HTML, basic HTML, guys. I'm talking about strong tags. I'm talking about hrefs. I'm talking about mark. I'm talking about some very basic HTML tags. If you run the other way when you see HTML, this role's not for you. You should be able to edit video, audio, and images, or create images. So you could use something like Canva for images. It could be as simple as that. Photoshop is fine. Camtasia for editing videos. Whatever it is that you're accustomed to or that you want to pick up and apply. Creating content in those 3 modalities, videos, pictures, and in words, is very important to this role. So you need to have some familiarity with that. And then lastly, some experience with social media platforms. LinkedIn would be a strong plus because that's where we're putting a lot of our investment. Robert is asking, can this be remote? Yes, absolutely, Robert. This role can be anywhere. I'll let you go and look through these details later, but in this document, if you're interested, and I see a lot of anonymous badgers and what is this one? Anonymous giraffes, all these people in here, go ahead, get the link, go here. You can see all of the daily and weekly activities that this role would be doing. You'll see some of the tools that this role is already using. If you don't know those, that's okay. That's okay. But it'll give you some idea of what this role will be interacting with. If that's exciting to you, learning some of these new things, take a look at those there. And I'll tell you in a short moment here how to apply for this role if you're interested in taking the next step. But I'm going to shut up for a moment. Mackenzie, since you've worked closely with me in this capacity, in this role, and you know what we're looking for, what else would you add here?
I feel like you got it. The few pillars of it is number 1, as you said, positive personality in terms of looking at every single person who engages on social media as someone you want to help. I think that's really important. As Dave said, there's things that you're going to do where it's like, I'm taking extra seconds to go find this person something that's helpful that might not even be related to your work at MindFire, by the way, right? One of the things that came up, as everyone knows, there was COVID, and then a lot of businesses were looking for PPE, right? For PPP to help their businesses, right? To get some government-funded money to help. That's not a MindFire thing, but at MindFire, we felt obligated to help businesses know what to do to get this, right? And so as someone in your role, you may go find something in this example on PPP to help that business, right? That doesn't necessarily plug MindFire in any way, but this is what you do to help organizations give them value. So that's the first thing. Number two is, roll up your sleeves, be hands-on, be willing to try, be willing to fail and try again. As they've mentioned, this isn't something that, there's tons of experience with a lot of people doing this. So a lot of it is being hands-on it and figuring it out. I think those are the main things.
Yeah, one other thing I'll say, and then as I'm saying this last thing, if you can go in and let me know your questions in LinkedIn, Facebook, and over there in Zoom. I could be wrong here, but I think that this role is new. That it doesn't really exist out there, at least in the way that we're envisioning this, to any great degree yet. But I think there's a good chance that this is a highly sought after role in the next few years. And what I mean by that is, as more and more organizations learn that the reason they're having trouble marketing and selling is because they're engaging their audience in the wrong place. And as more and more organizations learn that they need to create content and contextualize it to the channel, the place where their audience is hanging out, that this type of role is going to be more and more important to businesses and organizations. We are already seeing that here at MindFire. So not only are we doing this kind of community management for our own organization, but now companies are coming to us saying, my goodness, we've seen what you've been able to do, MindFire. Can you offer this as a service to us? And I think we're only seeing the beginning of that. I think there's going to be a lot more of that. And so this role is going to be somebody who can, like I said, create content, images, videos, and text, and digest. This is something I haven't mentioned in this document, but digest comments. You got to be able to look at what people are saying and create a thesis around what is it that's actually getting them to engage. Engagement is big in this role. Getting people to react to you, getting people to reply. And so you kind of have to have this ability to read comments at scale, read a bunch of comments and say, it seems like if we press on this, we can get a response from our audience. And I know that might sound strange to you if you haven't done this before, but that is definitely a part of the role. And I think it's the direction the world is moving. So I'm going to pause for a moment. Nick says, sounds like a good fit. Robert says, can this be remote? Yes, Robert, I think I may have answered that one. Robert says, perfect. I have someone in mind who just graduated. What are your expectations regarding the languages the person should know? Okay, so Angelica, are you talking, I assume you're talking not software languages, right? If you're talking about, what is it, spoken languages, I guess is the what you're saying? English, right? MindFire team, Ramin and Mackenzie? It's primarily English, right? Yeah. Yep. I mean, we have clients in 24 or 25 countries, but most of them are English speaking. So Angelica, yes, English is 99% of what we're doing. Over there in LinkedIn, give me some likes or give me some comments if you have any questions about this role. I'm going to turn it over to Ramin here in just a minute. We were supposed to each have 15 minutes, so I know I'm encroaching on his. Apologies, Ramin. Angelica,
No
any
problem.
questions? Any questions from you or Eva? Gene over there in Zoom? Anybody else in LinkedIn? If you have any questions, shoot those in, please. All right. So with that, Ramin, I'm going to turn it over to you and talk about the third role.
Great, thank you so much. And one of the key distinctions that this role at agency has with the other two roles that we were just talking about is that at agency, we basically primarily work for our clients. So this is a direct response copywriter job description. You still obviously have to have the same esprit or the culture or fit, because again, in our small team within MindFire, We work very closely, collaboratively among ourselves as well as with our clients. So the attitude towards being always helpful or going the extra mile or being supportive of one another or being optimistic, again, these are all kind of like the basic requirements for you to be a good fit for this role anywhere in MindFire. Specifically for the copywriter role in the agency, though, the difference is that you're not going to promote MindFire. You're going to promote our clients' products and services offerings to their target audiences. Therefore, one of the things that is very critical is for the ability to understand the business model of our existing clients and trying to articulate their value proposition in a meaningful, persuasive way. So there are three specific things that I'm looking for. Number one, you should be a great writer. I mean, I want you to be able to write persuasive, conversion-focused copy for ads, for emails, for landing pages, for sales letters, for video scripts. That should be your core expertise. However, as Dave mentioned, the content that you create is not going to only be in written format. We also expect you to be able to create short videos, not professional grade like cinematography videos. You should be able to use tools like Adobe Spark, Camtasia, or Canva even, or templates, and then basically create a visually appealing series of animations or graphs so that you convey the meaning that you want to convey as part of the core message and offer of the ad. Another part, so that number one is being able to write. Number two is being able to create content in different formats, specifically video and infographics or visuals. But another one is creating content that can be used as a lead magnet. Many of the clients that we work with, they have already a huge library of great content and assets that we can use as part of a marketing campaign, but many don't. As I mentioned at the beginning of the call, we have a wide range of clients that we work with across many industries. We have Fortune 500 ones, Fortune 50 ones, and we have small startups and small businesses. The larger organizations, obviously, they have their assets, so we basically use what they have and maybe just change it a little bit to fit the program that we're building for them. But many of them, they just need help creating a simple case study from the campaigns or the services that they have done for their existing customers. So you should be able to work with them, help them put together a case study or a guide or a white paper or a checklist or something that is related directly to their business and that can be used as a lead magnet to generate leads for them. Most of the campaigns that we run for our clients is focused on driving leads, generating leads and driving sales. We actually have a program called Lead Drive, which is a productized service, which means that many components of the program are already defined. There's a document, there's a checklist, there's a process. So we know what is it that we want to deliver for our clients. We just need to fill in the blanks. We just need to make sure that the content that is being created is specific to this client, talks their language that the target audience understands. And that's where you come in. That's where you come in with your skill set and say, hey, I really can study, understand the target audience, and then try to pinpoint the specific emotional triggers that would elicit a response to the message that this client has. So that's a soft skill set, but that's the part that you don't need to be like a professor in English literature. You just need to know those psychological triggers, if you will, that you know that if you push them, would elicit a response. We are focused on 3 channels: email, Facebook ads, and LinkedIn. We do direct mail, we do other ads, but those are our 3 primary things. So if you have any experience creating a Facebook ad, for example, I definitely am really interested to see what you've done. Or if you have written email for let's say for an onboarding or for email lead nurturing for a client, for upselling, cross-selling. All of those examples, I will basically looking at the work that we have done so far to better understand how skilled and experienced you are and how good a fit you are for this role. Of course, I don't expect you to know everything. We will teach you the technology that we use. We will share all the processes and playbooks that we have. The Lead Drive program, it's very well documented. It has a process. You will be working closely with me and with my team. We have, it's a very small team, so we are 4 people right now in the agency. You will be the 5th person joining us. And as both Mackenzie and Dave mentioned, you will be a pivotal role. You are a critical part of the team because what you do matters. Because we are small, we are nimble, and everyone, as again Mackenzie mentioned, we have done all of the things. I have written copy, I've run campaigns. All of the team members in our group have done all of these things, and we are currently doing all of these things ourselves too. But we also specialize in certain areas. So I have a web developer. I have someone who manages the client relationship. We have someone who is super skilled in Facebook and digital marketing, and especially our own software to run those campaigns, because everything we do, we use our own platform. But the copy and the content creation part, I feel right now we are at the point that we have a lot of demand, and we need someone who actually brings their skill set to this and expertise to this team and help us grow and go to the next level. So if you are that person, I'm looking forward to know and learn more about you. And there is a document, as Dave mentioned, there is a link in the LinkedIn post where you can see that document, and there is a little bit more context and explanation of what we are looking for. Specifically, there is a 3-step how to apply. I am looking for a copywriter, so your letter or your email to me showing why you are a good fit for this. Yeah, have a good headline, give me a couple of paragraphs of persuasive conversion-focused copy so that I can know, and then examples of the work that you've done. I mean, if you showcase the Facebook, LinkedIn, or direct mail or email ads or landing pages that you have created for your other previous clients or your companies that you've worked for, that would be a tremendous help. So I'm gonna just pause here and again see if there are any questions or topics that I can expand on.
Cool, let's see. So over in Zoom, looks like a couple people have private messaged. Thank you for that. If you're interested, feel free to reach out to Ramin for this particular role. Are there any questions regarding this role here? Over in Zoom, it looks like, Mackenzie, did you answer a few in the Q&A, or did we handle those already? Yeah, okay, yep. Perfect. You got Jean. Okay, so over in Zoom, if you have any questions, over in LinkedIn, if you have any questions, please let us know. We appreciate you sticking around. Yeah, go ahead, Mac.
I just want to plug Ramin because I've gotten the pleasure of seeing him work with a lot of people and help them. I have never seen someone who teaches and grows people in the way that Ramin has the ability to. Yep. So if you are looking to work with someone, and obviously it's the same for you, Dave, but specifically with Ramin, if you are looking for someone who's going to help you grow and teach you, I mean, Ramin has years of experience, but it's just, when you see everyone on his team and how wonderful and going from where they are to the goals that they have and getting there, it's really phenomenal. So he's a really great leader, and obviously, bring that great experience, but he's also going to help you tremendously grow as an individual as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much.
Jean, I see Jean asking a question. That must be over in Zoom. Jean, which role are you referring to? And I'll see, I'll lob it at the right person.
Yeah, we're kind of chatting back and forth.
Oh, okay.
He's asking about the sales role. Yep.
Okay, cool. So you'll answer, Jean? Okay, awesome. Okay, so LinkedIn, Facebook, Zoom, you're all still awake? I know it's a different time of the day for all of you. What other questions do you have? We'll stick around for a few more minutes here. If you want to find out more, you know how to reach me. Please connect with me on LinkedIn if we're not yet connected. Like Mackenzie said, you should be able to find us on LinkedIn. So look me up. You should be able to find me. Ramin is also on LinkedIn if you have any questions for him or for Mackenzie. Let's see. Akash has a role over here. I have a question, how the print advertising market is going. Let's see, I need to look over here. It's hard to see there. How the print advertising market is going on US or UK after this COVID situation. So Akash, are you asking for our prognostication on kind of where print is at given COVID, or maybe once COVID passes? Is that what you're asking? Let me know if I understood your question there correctly. I can certainly give you some thoughts on based on what we see. Does anybody have any questions about the role for McKinsey or for Ramin? Let us know. And is there anything else that McKinsey or Ramin that you want to add to everyone who's still here?
Nope.
All good? Okay, we'll wait another few seconds here. Akash, if you can just clarify your question there, I want to make sure I understand. Yeah, that's what you're asking? Okay. So, you know, I can really only speak to, and McKinsey and Ramin can jump in here, but we can speak to what we see here in North America, specifically in the US, and certainly some industries have been hit really hard. That's what we're seeing right now. But there are others, for example, here in the US, mortgage companies offering, you know, refinanced loans to consumers. That's an industry that we do a lot of work in, and that's one where activity is up. So some industries are up and some are down. For us, we've been blessed this year here at MindFire. This year, although it's been extremely difficult for the world, we're doing better than we did last year. And I think that's because obviously it's a testament to the team and the people that we have here at MindFire, as well as the fact that organizations need to continue to communicate with their customers in order to drive leads and grow sales. And our technology is a part of that. So we've been blessed. We've been fortunate. In terms of where we see the print going, I think it's the way I described, Akash. Some industries are down. Some print companies are way down, but there are others that are maintaining. And then there are some that are doing better than last year. McKinsey, Ramin, I know you speak to a lot of print folks. What's your take on that?
I believe that's exactly how you describe it. Many industries, especially B2C ones, like in finance and mortgage industry, they definitely have grown. There are some B2B ones, especially the ones who their target audience are now working remotely. It has been a challenge because you cannot get really access to people who are working remotely with their office address. So there are challenges, but in general, I believe it is similar to any other crisis or any other situation. It doesn't, across industries. I mean, it wasn't just print that was affected, everybody was affected. Yep. And there are always companies or businesses who thrive and rise, and there are some who get, unfortunately, negatively affected. But there are always small ways to find and come with solutions for any problem.
All right. I see somebody asking me here how to apply. Go ahead and message on LinkedIn. Message me on LinkedIn. I can't see your name. Forgive me. But whoever just asked that, go ahead and message me and we'll follow up with next steps and get you what you need there. Anything else, folks? Any other questions or comments? You know how to reach us? Has this been helpful for everyone? Give us some feedback in the comments. Say yes if this has been helpful. You've enjoyed your time with us. Thank you for being here. What is the end date for the digital marketing role to apply? There is no end date at this point. So as soon as you can, you know, get your interest in or express your interest, we'll take it. We're looking ASAP for that role. Angelica says, thanks a lot. It's great to talk to a company. That's interesting. Good. I'm glad to hear that. That's good feedback. So Angelica, was this helpful for you? Was this of interest? Let's see. Can I ask about this? Oh, sorry. Yes, Robert, sorry about that. McKinsey, I'm going to lob this one back to you. Robert asked a few times and I forgot. McKinsey, can you talk about the sales methodology? I think he was asking what sales methodology you and your team follow. If there's one in specific, can you elaborate on that?
Honestly, I don't have one specific that I follow or that we follow. I kind of look at different sales methodologies for different parts of the funnel. I try to kind of glean helpful information from different people that I typically look up to. But if you want to have a conversation about it, maybe email me or actually message me on LinkedIn, and we can discuss in more detail. I can kind of go into some of the philosophies that we apply here at MindFire from a sales methodology perspective.
So I'd have to say, for anybody who's watching this right now, maybe you're watching a recording of us, you're not actually here live. Don't assume that the positions are filled when you watch this. We're really going to be looking for the best possible person that we can find in each of these roles. We want to do it as soon as possible, but we're not going to rush and just pick the first person that comes along just because we need somebody ASAP. Okay, so if you're watching this video now, don't assume that positions are filled. Please get in touch with us. You know how to reach us. We're here to answer questions. Gene says, I want to thank David, McKinsey, Ramin for this informational session for these 3 position roles. Gene, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. I'm going to wait another minute or two. McKinsey or Ramin, do you have anything else you want to add for everybody? Okay.
No, just thank you everyone for your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm glad this was helpful. Robert is saying thank you to you, McKinsey, for your response there.
Thank you.
So reach out to us, folks. I know a lot of you have already messaged. Today is a busy day for me, but give me until the end of the day. I'll go through all of the LinkedIn messages and get back to you. And for whoever's applying for the community management role, that would be one of your duties to get back to everybody more quickly than I can do it right now. But yeah, I'll take a look at those. And I'm sure Ramin and McKinsey, you've also received messages as well. So let me see. Right, if we've missed anything in Zoom, it looks like we're good. LinkedIn looks good. Okay, I will bring us to a close then. Thank you all for your time. If you're watching this in a recording, again, like I said, please reach out to us. Don't assume the positions are filled. And for all of you who are here live with us, for McKinsey, Ramin, and me, I want to thank you for your time. And I hope you have a great rest of the day, whatever time of day it happens to be. And we'll see you all soon. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.